What's up, OHANA Exotics? Today we're going to be talking about an interesting subject, and a subject that I feel a lot of people are actually skipping on and is very important, and that subject is called hygiene and sanitation. We're actually going to be cleaning up all the enclosures, all of them, misting them down with F10. After we F10 the enclosures, we're going to rinse them down again with water and then dry them up. And then only will we be reintroducing the soil. So before we can actually get started, we need substrate. So let's have a time jump. Alright, so time jump successful. Now we have all our substrate here. I'm going to be sharing a trade secret with you guys, and I'm going to be sharing my substrate mixture with you guys as well. So it's actually we'll get them when we get there. First of all, we're going to start by removing one of the snakes out of the enclosures. I think where we're going to start is with our female Gumprecht viper. So all we're going to do is we're just going to simply take her out of the enclosure. A lot of loud noises. You guys can come closer if you can't see her. We'll take her out of the enclosure over here. Not the best hook for these cages, but it does the graft. And there we go. Alrighto. There you guys can have a nice look at her. Beautiful female, she's grown significantly. Now we just need to untwine her. Alrighto. Now that she's safely in the bucket, we can safely work in her enclosure. Alright, snake is safely removed. And now we graft. Okay, so we first take out all of the wood in the enclosure, all of the decorative pieces, every ounce of what's left of the enclosure you take out. So we're going to take these out, this out. Alright, so whatever's left in the enclosure is what we call disposable, meaning we are going to dispose of it. So let me just grab this bag over here. And now we dispose. We grab soil. Although this substrate should be able to last for quite a bit longer, it's not necessarily about the substrate mixture, because I do have microfauna in your isopods and spring tiles. You guys saw it in the previous video. If you didn't, I'll link it up here. Then you guys can check it out. So the soil is technically clean, but what I want to do is sanitize the environment. So to do that successfully, you need to remove everything out of the enclosure. Whoa. Okay, let's do another time jump. Alright, so the next step is to actually just sanitize the enclosure. So what we're going to do now is this is a F10 concentrate, 8 ml to 1 liters water. So this is obviously not 1 liter, but it's pre-mixed. Just get some of this on here. Alright, there. Should be good. And now we wipe down the entire enclosure. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the extent of actually spraying the enclosure and then sanitation is very important for collections with multiple snakes, guys, for the simple reason that if one snake has a pathogen that he's immune to, it doesn't necessarily mean that another snake has immunity against that pathogen, and by sanitizing your enclosures you risk the possibility of spread. What I actually do is, if I hook a snake and when I want to hook another snake, I sanitize that hook as well. So yeah, it's important to not cross-contaminate your own collection. I mean, the last thing you want to do is cause a problem in your very own collection. Alright, so now that it's sprayed, I'm going to grab myself some toilet paper, which is right over here. Take the toilet paper. Now I'm just going to wipe off all of that F10, because although it is a strong disinfectant, it's not healthy for your snakes to actually drink it, sit on it, And for these enclosures being arboreal, the possibility of the snakes trying to drink from the glass is actually close to 100%. So that we do not want. So we're going to get all of this F10 out. Da, 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 da. So it's a good practice to make sure that you wipe the entire surface. It just ensures that you get every piece of the enclosure and that there's no excess left. Because the next step is going to make you guys think this step's irrelevant, but trust me when I say it's really not. Alright, so now that we have removed all the F10, we throw that piece of toilet paper away. Now where is my mister? Camera guy, mister! Alright, so the camera guy's quickly going to grab my mister for me. You having a hard time?
Nah.
Gotta focus on that one. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Mist the enclosure. We should rinse the excess F10 away. So that's what I'm saying. You guys would most likely think that the previous step's completely irrelevant. But it's not, it's still important. Alright, so now I'm going to grab a towel, which I'll put over there behind the cameraman again. Our cameraman's my jockey as well. There's my caca draft work. You just throw it, dude. Yeah, that's perfect. Alright, so now we just wipe off the water works, which is not coming off with the towel. I'm going to have to revert back to toilet paper by the looks of it. Yeah, that's not working. Toilet paper! Alright, so now we're just quickly going to remove most of the water. We don't have to actually remove it all. I just don't want the substrate when I add it into the enclosure to adhere to the glass too much. So yeah, that's the only reason why I'm actually doing that. Just quickly getting here everywhere. Done. We should get a dustbin in there, dude. Nah, think about it. It's gonna be a good idea. You'll have to talk, man. I'm not that sure. Sorry, guys. The camera guy's new. His name's Darren. Darren Bradley Tapinos. You guys can check him out on Instagram as well if you guys don't know what he's all about. He's actually one of the guys that work for us over here. So yeah, let me just continue quickly cleaning up this. Hopefully he's doing a good job. You guys better let me know in the comment section if he's not doing a good job. I'll sort him out quickly. Me?
No. Well, yeah.
Well, I think he's not doing bad at all. Just a bit camera shy still, so he's not really in the camera yet. But he's gonna get on to the camera. Alright, so now that we did that, the boring shandies is done. And now you have to reverse for me a bit, please, man. Alright, so now I'm gonna explain to you guys how we're gonna do my substrate mixture. So what I do is I do 1 pot cocoa peat, 2 pot organic compost, and 2 pot wood bark. The reason for the wood bark is it creates dexterity, it takes up some volume, and also creates water to flow. It's a good place for your isopods and your springtails to hide under and breed under, so that's always a necessity. As you guys know, all my enclosures with substrate, I do have springtails and isopods. I am a firm believer in their important job of cleaning my enclosures for me. So yeah, alright. Let me show you what I do for pots. Obviously it looks messy now, but at least I have a good cameraman that's going to clean later. Alright, so that's 1 pot cocoa husk. I'm going to do 2 hands. Okay, so let's say that's 1 pot cocoa husk. Now for the bark chips. Oh, these are big bark chips. They're going to work nice. Alright, so that would mean 4 pots now. Well, so it's going to be 2 pots. So 1 pot is 2 hands, so that's 1 pot. That's 2 pot. Then we move to organic compost. Make sure you guys use an organic compost with no added chemicals or any added shandies like that, because you can't guarantee what chemicals they use and all that nonsense. So just go the organic way. It's anyway better. 1, 2. 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's technically one mixture of substrate over there. So let me just give you guys an idea of how much you get out with just one singular mix. Oh, you know what I'm forgetting? I'm actually forgetting my oak leaves. Be back in a second. Let's quickly do a time jump. Watch out! Alright. Easy time jump, right? Pet go! I'm stealing your time jump idea. I love it. It makes the video very entertaining. Alright. Alright, so what I usually like to do is I take a bag, a hand of dried oak leaves, chuck it into the mixture, and then whisk it all around. I only take one hand of the leaves into the mixture, because usually after I put the substrate into the enclosure, I actually put leaf litter on top of the substrate. So let me just show you guys how much you get out of one pot. Chewy, this place is getting messy. Where'd I put my cup? Yo bro, pass me the cup. Alright. So that's one. Almost done. Actually, I think we're going to have to do 1 pot per enclosure. This is actually looking like it's going to be enough. Might not be though. We'll have to see, I guess. What do you guys think about the new snake room? I think it looks dope. It's a bit cramped for now, but wait till you guys see what it's going to amount to. This is obviously temporary. Ha ha ha. Hint hint spoil. Alright, so let's see how much we got out of just one mixture of substrate. That is actually a decent amount of substrate. Yeah, that's a decent amount of substrate right there. I'm gonna still add a bit more because these are for arboreal vipers. So I want to have the substrate volume high so that we can have good humidity inside the enclosure. So we're gonna mix it again. 1, oh, it's messy in here. 2. Let's just go 1. All right. 1, 2, 3. Actually, should have just gone 2. I'm losing count now because now I'm changing my routine of how I usually do it, but it's fine. 1, 2. No need to put leaf litter in again. Just roughen it up a bit, making it look all natty. Alright, now we transfer this back to over here, and we're just going to add the substrate. The nice thing about this substrate mixture is it also makes the enclosure look pretty natural as well. So of course that's, for me, that's very ideal. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we only have about 3 VIVs left. Because I sold off all of the VIVs, because yeah, bigger things are coming. And once we get there, you guys will obviously know. First of all, alright, that almost looks like we're approaching enough now. Can you hold this, please? Thank you. Alright, that should be a good amount of substrate. Yes, that is actually a perfect amount of substrate. Now what we're going to do is, so as you guys remember, we took out these from the enclosure originally. So these need to be sanitized as well, which is actually a lot easier to do. I'm just quickly going to get a tub. Alright, we got a bucket. Come closer, come closer, come closer. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we chuck all this in here. And the reason for the bucket is that I don't make my floor dirty, which is inevitable because at the moment it looks horrible in here. Don't show them. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to F10 all of this. If you guys can buy better squishy bottles for yourself, that will obviously be the most ideal thing to do, because I hate this thing. It always gives me crap. Alright, let's go. Sanitize. Clean. Alright, and usually after you sanitize a product, you can, if you want to swap to other enclosures, I would always recommend boiling the products as well. So if you, for example, want to take this and put it into another snake enclosure and you're not too sure about your sanitation, then I would recommend boiling it in water as well, because there's no way that chemicals will survive in boil. Well, not chemicals, but pathogens. Alright, so now we just rinse them down. Alright, so that's that for now. Now we're just going to put it back into the enclosure. There you go. Ooh, you have a new home. Ooh. Alright, now you have to return my hook for me. And ta! That is the end result of it. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you guys by literally going through every enclosure just like this. What I am going to do is I'm going to say goodbye to you guys after I did all of them. Alright guys, so it's the next day and I actually only finished today with the whole sanitization process of my snake room, but I'm pretty happy with the results and I'm sure that you guys learned a little something about sanitation and why it's so important. I mean, pathogens crossing is absolutely a nightmare and it can devastate collections. A good way to make sure that your collection stays pathogens free is to well quarantine every single new individual snake that you get. But yeah, without further ado, let me show you guys what the enclosures look back now, because I did tweak some of them a bit. And then we're going to say peace out. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you guys loved it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys do enjoy our content, like and subscribe. We can really use the following places. From OHANA Exotics, I say much love. Peace out.